Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I am your host, Stephen Colbert. I hope that everyone out there, I hope everybody over here, everybody out there had a good Easter weekend. Church, ham, jelly beans. Mine was, basically low-key. All I did was moderate a record-breaking fundraiser with Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden. Good deal. Good deal. No biggie. It was the most presidential power in one place since those four guys posed for Mount Rushmore. It was an honor to be part of the evening. We had a wide-ranging and fascinating discussion of the challenges facing our nation, but one big question went unanswered. Why weren't any of them wearing ties? I was wearing a tie. I believe that means I'm president now. Wow. Thank you. The job really does age you. The evening was a huge success. Biden's campaign said the event raised more than $26 million. And I would say what's even more impressive is they did it without selling one Bible. Now, a lot of people have asked me what it was like to moderate the evening. And I can tell you there were 3 presidents, 3 communications teams, and 0 catering. Oh. I asked one of the folks from the Democratic Party for a Diet Coke, and after a long delay, they gave me a Diet Pepsi. So, I'm voting for Trump now. I know, death of democracy, but I have my limits. Well, there was also a fun moment when I asked President Obama why I'm allowed to call his wife Michelle, but I can't call him Barack. He said, and I quote, "Your wife can." A lot of people enjoyed that joke. For instance, my wife. Yesterday was Easter, as I was saying, and Joe Biden had a lovely message for the nation, posting, "Jill and I send our warmest wishes to Christians around the world celebrating Easter Sunday. Easter reminds us of the power of hope and the promise of Christ's resurrection." It's classic. Donald Trump also had a beautiful Easter message. April Fools. Almost couldn't get that one out. He posted this all-cap screed, "Happy Easter to all, including crooked and corrupt prosecutors and judges that are doing everything possible to interfere with the presidential election of 2024 and put me in prison, including those many people that I completely and totally despise." And also with you. And with your spirit, I guess we say now. Yeah. The annual White House Easter egg roll was held today, and it was a big one with about 40,000 participants. Wow. 40,000! Or as the hens that laid those eggs put it, an entire generation lost, and for what? But as with everything in our politics, the MAGA crowd found something to be fake outraged about. In this case, Fox News complained that religious-themed designs were banned from the White House Easter egg contest because of guidelines specifying that the submission must not include any questionable content, religious symbols, or overtly religious themes. How dare they dishonor the true spirit of Easter when Jesus laid colorful eggs for his apostles to find? But here's the thing. And this is true. The same guidelines have been in place under every president since 1976, including under Donald Trump. Wow. Oh, my God, those poor guidelines. They had to be in the worst place in the world. Under Donald Trump. But in the world of made-up outrage, there's always Plan B. Over the weekend, Trump also attacked Biden over the fact that Easter this year coincided with Transgender Day of Visibility. So what? And Biden had nothing to do with that. Since 2009, International Transgender Day of Visibility has been held annually on March 31st. The date of Easter, meanwhile, changes from year to year. Of course, everyone knows the formula for setting the date of Easter. The first Sunday after the first full moon on or after See? I've got some bad news for people who are upset that another thing was celebrated on Easter this year, because it's going to keep happening. In 2029, Easter is going to fall on April Fool's Day. Oh, so my religion is a big joke to you? Is that what it is? Or are you claiming that Jesus didn't actually rise from the dead? It was all a big prank on the apostles. You got Jesus! Give a shot at him? And smoke him if you got him, because just next year, Easter falls on 4/20. There you go. Oh, the liberals want to turn Jesus into some long-haired, sandal-wearing, bearded hippie who's all about peace and love. Groovy, man. Forgive your enemies. All of these messages that he posted were up on Truth Social. And there's some financial news about its lack of finances. According to new SEC filings from Truth Social, in 2023, on revenues of just $4 million, Truth Social lost $58 million. But how could that be? They have such a solid business model. Old rapist yells at Easter. Now, this is the first, right? This is April 1st. So it's officially April, which means it's time for March Madness. And if you're anything like me, your bracket is completely busted. And you also have only a vague idea what it means to bust a bracket. What? Is that a sex thing? Because that sounds like a sex thing. As of tonight, both the men's and women's tournaments are down to the Final Four. But the most surprising thing to happen on the court this weekend was the court, because 5 women's games were played with different length three-point arcs on either side of the court. Put that up, Jim. Look at that. You can see the difference. That is a glaring error. It is the most obvious mistake in sports since they accidentally played the '86 World Series with the live chicken. Oh, here's some weird. Speaking of strange things happening, there's some news out of Florida, care of governor and caveman describing his dream rock, Ron DeSantis. Late last week, DeSantis signed a bill that will allow the sale of bottles of wine in Florida up to 15 liters. 15 liters is almost 4 gallons. We have breaking news. Rudy Giuliani has moved to Florida. Gone already? Thank you, friends. This is a big change. Until now, Florida law prohibited the sale of wine in bottles larger than 1 gallon. Of course, there's a legal exception for bachelorette parties, because there's no laws on a Gator Mike's fan boat. Half off if the bride kisses Gator Mike. The man behind this new law is Florida representative and guy who buys his formal wear at Spirit Halloween, Chip LaMarca. LaMarca's motivation for introducing this bill was to cut government regulation, and he says, "This legislation has been a priority for me for the past 5 years." Translation, 5 years ago, I got divorced. There's some news from Washington, and also the air above Washington. Journalists have been told to stop stealing souvenirs from Air Force One. No surprise to me, those journalists are a sticky-fingered bunch. Whenever Wolf Blitzer comes to my house, on his way out the door, full cavity search. See you at the Christmas party, Wolf. After Biden went to the West Coast in February, the crew found several items missing from the press section, including branded pillowcases, glasses, and gold-rimmed plates. So the White House Press Correspondents Association sent an email to reporters explaining that the thefts reflected poorly on the press pool and must stop. It sure does. You forget the linens. Go for the silverware. That's where the real money is. Or just take the door. It's a Boeing. It's not bolted on. It's not. I feel for the press here. I myself have helped myself to a little 5-finger discount before. In fact, I swiped Bill O'Reilly's microwave, former Senator Jeff Flake's rug from his office, and a glass from the home of Barbra Streisand. But that is all in the past. When I met with the 3 presidents on Thursday, I did not steal a single thing. I stole 3 things. We got a great show for you tonight. I'll be talking to Hannah Waddingham and giving the Colbert questionnaire to Matt Damon when we come back. Meanwhile, join us, won't you?